Hello friends, Amanda. Welcome back to the Whimsy Stamp YouTube channel. Today I've got this fun birthday shaker card featuring these cute little gnomes and a fun shaker element. I had a lot of fun creating this. I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to color in my gnomes. This is the longest portion of this video. I left all of the coloring in for you, and I'm going to be using my Copic markers with some Copic friendly paper and Copic friendly ink. All of the markers that I used will be on the screen in case you wanted to follow along. I'm going to put on some music for you to enjoy while I color. Once I'm all done with the coloring, we'll come back and finish up the card together. Feel free to skip ahead if you like, but I'll meet you at the end of the coloring. Once all the coloring was finished, I fussy cut the images out using my scissors, and now I'm going to go along the edge with this Tombow marker and just color in the edge where you can see the white. This kind of helps cover up, first off, it covers up the core of the paper, makes it look more like a die cut, but it also helps kind of hide any imperfections with the cutting. This was like a really old, I don't really want to say it's an old technique, but it's something I haven't done in a really long time, just because I got so used to using dies that I never really fussy cut anything out along the lines. But this is a really fun way to kind of add a little bit of something to a die cut and make it look a little bit more finished and complete. You could definitely leave this step out, but I really feel like it adds to the dies or the images and really makes it look like a finished piece. You can use any marker. I've seen people use Copic markers, any kind of black marker that doesn't bleed will do fine for this. And again, you're just trying to go around the edge to kind of hide any of the imperfections with your cutting. Now, if you had the dies done, this particular image does not come with dies, but you can easily cut it out like I did here. It didn't take me very long to do that. These images were super simple and it's a lot of fun. So now that I got all these little gnomes ready to go, I'm going to add a little bit of detail to them. I'm going to add some glitter to their little hats here. I started out with this glitter brush pen from Wink of Stella, and I did a first layer with it, and then I did go in with another glitter pen. I thought maybe it would add a little bit more shimmer, but unfortunately it was empty. So I need to refill that one, but this Wink of Stella one worked out just fine, and I got the right amount of glitter on these little gnomes. And it's kind of funny because I honestly am not a fan of gnomes. My mom has garden gnomes and I have been terrified of them since I was a kid, but these little gnome images here are super sweet. They are drawn so wonderfully, and there are so many gnome images from Whimsy to choose from for all seasons that it's just really fun card and really fun products to work with. I will have all of the products listed and linked below in the description if you're interested in any of those. Once I was all done with that, I'm going to go in with a white gel pen and add some more details. This is a completely optional step. You do not have to do this. These gnomes are sweet all on their own, but I personally like to go in and add a little bit of highlight detail. I think it really finishes off these somewhat animated images, kind of brings them to life and adds just a little bit more detail and interest. Going to add some highlights to the hair here, and then to their little hats, and definitely on their little noses. I like this little guy in the back, this little yellow one. I like his little cheeky grin he's got going on. It's super fun. I've kind of been in quite a big rainbow mode lately, and these little images were perfect to do in a rainbow pattern, and I was really excited to get some get a shaker card created. I haven't done one in quite a while, and I forgot how much fun they are to create, and my kids loved this card. They thought it was really fun and cool. They really liked the rainbow effect that I had going on. Going to go ahead and add a couple more highlight details here, and then finally I'm going to go in with a black jelly roll pen and add just a little bit of highlight to their eyes, kind of brighten them up a little bit and add some dimension to those. Just kind of makes them stand out a little bit more, gives them a little bit more character. Again, completely optional, you do not have to do this, but it adds a nice fun touch, and you can see how sweet those little gnomes are. Now that that's done, we can go ahead and get to work on our shaker element. And our card base is just a side folding A2 sized card, but I did turn it to be more of a landscape. So it does end up being a top fold, but it's more of a top fold landscape instead of portrait. And this is just some nice white heavy cardstock. And then I'm going to be using a paper pack called Rainbows from Whimsy. And I just went through it and found one that I really liked. And then I'm also using some of the shaker pouches from Whimsy. These are called Full Front Shaker Pouches A2. And I've never used shaker pouches before. I always either did just clear plastic to create like a flat shaker, or I would use acetate and a whole bunch of foam adhesive. But these shaker pouches make creating shakers so easy and fun. It's a super easy step. I just took that cardstock and lined it up right in the center, and the adhesive on here really holds it in place. You don't have to worry about it moving around. I did all 3 sides and I left one side open so that I could add my shaker material. Now there is a protective film over top of these to protect it from getting any scratches, so you want to make sure you peel that off. I did it afterwards just to make sure I didn't cause any damage to it while I was working with it, but you could definitely do that beforehand. I've got some shaker sequins here. These are flat sequins from This Calls for Confetti. Red, blue, and yellow. I just wanted to kind of stick with the rainbow theme. If I had green ones, I definitely would, but I thought it would look fine with just using these primary colors. And once I have all of my shaker bits added in here, I am going to go ahead and seal up the other side, and we will have a finished shaker done in no time. I love this so much. It makes creating shakers even more fun, and I think I'm going to be creating a lot more than I have in the past. So here you can see the kind of idea I'm going with these little fellas here, and then I'm going to get my greeting put together. I'm going to be using some more dies from Whimsy. These are the Cutie ABCs, and I really love the font on this. It's very fun and whimsical, goes with the whole theme of my card. And I just die cut it out of some white cardstock and black cardstock so I can create a kind of drop shadow effect. This is a really fun way to create some dimension with your dies, instead of having to do, kind of like layers upon layers of die cutting. And you can definitely do this with any color cardstock. I wanted to go with black and white so it would stand out a little bit from all of that color that's going on already. And I didn't want to do like birthday or, happy, anything like that. I wanted to kind of mix it up a little bit and use the word party, which I think goes really great with this card. All the little gnomes look like they're having a great time, and amongst all those shaker elements and all the rainbows going on, this was a really fun card to create. Gonna go ahead and get my last little letter done here, the letter Y, and create that fun drop shadow effect. Going to get that put underneath that acrylic block to dry completely, and I'm going to work on the secondary element of my card for the greeting. I've just got a piece of a scrap black cardstock here, and I'm going to take a greeting from that same gnome set, which is called Gnome Party Row, and there's a greeting in there that says it's party time. And I just wanted to use the word time, so I did cut my stamps. Don't worry, it doesn't hurt them. You can still use them the same way if you wanted to line them up. This just helps me from having to do any masking or anything like that. And I'm just going to heat emboss that with some clear ink and some white embossing powder to create a nice bright white greeting to go along with the party die cut. Just kind of a fun way to add a greeting on here. Now, the first time I stamped it down, it didn't turn out very well. I did heat it up, but it looked like it kind of got smushed out too much. I think I pressed a little bit too hard on the stamp, so I'm going to go ahead and try to stamp that one more time and try to do a little bit better of an impression. Once I get that one all heat embossed really well, I am going to go ahead and use my scissors to fussy cut out this little image. Again, this set does not have any it does not have any dies, but all of these images and texts are so easy to cut around that you definitely do not need to have the dies. You can create some fun masks with them and all of that, so it's really quick and simple just to cut that out in no time. So now that we're all of our elements are ready to go, we can go ahead and get to assembly. I'm just going to use some double-sided adhesive to adhere my shaker pouch to my card base. You could definitely use liquid adhesive or a tape runner. I just find that this double-sided adhesive is nice and strong, and it'll hold on really, really well. I've got a 5-year-old little boy who was shaking this card after I created it, and it wasn't going anywhere. It was good to go, and all the elements stayed on there just fine. So again, just a nice strong adhesive to help hold it down. Gonna get that lined up. Now I am gonna use liquid adhesive on the elements here. Now I don't normally recommend using any liquid adhesives because sometimes they can take a while to dry on top of plastic, or they can slip inside really well, but I do recommend using a liquid adhesive that has a really short drying time. If you're not comfortable with that, you can definitely use tape runner or double-sided adhesive to add your elements on top of that shaker material. If you didn't want to do that, you could easily add all of these things on the inside of the shaker pouch and you know, have it incorporated into the shaker. I personally wanted to make sure that all of my images were nice and visible, so that's why I decided to do them on the outside. So either way you do it, the card will be fantastic. However you're comfortable doing it. I really liked having everything on the outside, but either way would be just fine. Now on the inside of the card, I am going to stamp down a little happy birthday or happy wishes in here for a nice birthday sentiment. And then there's still plenty of room to write a message to whomever I give this to, or whoever comes and picks this card up. I have a lot of family members who come by and ask me for birthday cards, thank you cards, anything like that. So I've got a lot on hand for a lot of my family. So whoever gets this, it's already ready to go for whoever's birthday. Now that I have that all done and ready, we're going to go ahead and get the party word adhered down. Now again, I am going to use that same liquid adhesive and adhere this down. Just going to add a little bit to that and try my best to keep it nice and straight and not wiggle it around too much. Going to get that adhered down. I did move it just a tiny bit, but it works out in the end that it all adheres down nicely and it looks just great. Again, all of the products that I used in today's video will be listed and linked below. They are affiliate links, and that just means that if I make a sale through Whimsy Stamps, I get a little bit of a kickback, and you know, it's a little portion that goes towards you know, getting some more crafting supplies and goes towards, you know, paying the bills, those sorts of things. So we're going to go ahead and get these last couple of letters done here, and the card will be just about finished. At first I thought this T was backwards. I thought it was a J, and I thought I made a mistake, but it is definitely a T. It is just the way that the font is done. I really like this font. It goes really well with this fun, whimsical card. Now that I got that last letter on there, I'm going to go ahead and take our tiny word time and add it just underneath the word party. And that will finish up this card for today. I really hope you enjoyed this card, and if you did, please consider hitting the like button as well as to subscribe so you don't miss out on any more videos here at the Whimsy Stamps YouTube channel. Again, I really appreciate you guys stopping by. I hope you had a lot of fun watching me create this fun rainbow gnome card with all these fun rainbow images and fun whimsy products. Again, everything is listed and linked below down in the description, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch up with you guys again real soon. Bye!